Hi everyone, welcome back to Blue Heart Crochet and welcome to Vlogmas Day 1. So right now it is the 30th of November. It is actually quite late in the evening, which is hence why the dodgy light and it's not great. But yeah, I'd promised a few months ago in one of my craft catch-ups that there'd been a lot of life changes that were going on and I couldn't talk about it at the time, and I promised to reveal all on the first day of Vlogmas. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to film anything today because it's going to be a bit of a long spiel. So I thought I'll just come and sit down and tell you what's been going on, and I'll also explain my absence from like the end of October-ish till now. So basically, going on to the major life event that I didn't want people to know. The people I didn't want to know were the people I worked with, and that'll become very clear when I explain more in the story, but that's basically who I sort of had to keep secrets from. So basically at the beginning of the year I'd had an appointment with my gastro consultant, and it sort of really hit me then that with my gastro issues we may not be able to cure them to the level where I have limited symptoms. It looks like there's a good chance I'm always going to have some quite moderate to severe symptoms, and that is on a positive outlook. So it sort of had me evaluating things going on in my life. Now, with my job, I could not do that when I had moderate to severe symptoms or the symptoms that I had now. I was really struggling to be able to do my job, and it was not something that was going to be suitable long term. So I started having a look at the beginning of the year. What things did I want to do? You know, setting up plans for if we couldn't get the symptoms down to a level where they're manageable enough for me to still be able to do my job. So I started having a little look, started having to think of things and figuring out what I wanted to do with my life going from here, and things like that. And I did sort of come up with a plan of what I thought I may want to do. And it was going back to university and doing a law degree and becoming a solicitor. And that was what I was thinking of. But I was deciding, you know, I'm just going to put it on the back burner, see how we go with all the gastro symptoms and things like that, and try and keep in the job as long as possible. And then around spring in this year, we've had some changes with management, and we've had it keep, the changing in management has kept going throughout the whole year till I think the last one was around my birthday in September, the last change in management we had. And it's just been absolute chaos. And it was just causing me so much stress. There wasn't a day that was going by where I was not coming home from work feeling like at the end of my tether. And I think it was my partner I was texting one time, and I got a text off one of the managers while I was on my way into work, and they were like, basically my shift was supposed to start something like 10 a.m, so I'd woke up really early. It takes me about an hour and a half on the bus. I have to be at the bus stop an hour and a half before work, and management do know that it's going to take me a while getting into work, and they do know that I'm a carer, so I've got to do a lot of things before I leave for work anyway. So I got up at the crack of dawn, you know, got ready, was at the bus stop an hour and a half before I had to leave, was on the bus for when I needed to, and I was supposed to be in work at something like 10, and like half an hour before my shift started, I got a text off the manager saying, it's quiet, don't come in for another hour and a half. I wanted to skip, and this is just little examples, and I'd text my boyfriend, and I can't remember if it was him or someone else, but I texted whoever I was talking to at the time. I said, I think this is a new record of how quick I've got stressed out because of work, and you know, it is not, I'm not even in yet, I'm not even clocked on. You know, there was a lot of things. I got no help with my gastro symptoms whatsoever, like no, you know, adaptions, which, you know, by law should have happened. Did raise them with it, raise these concerns with management. One, disability adaptation, which was just basically me getting a spare uniform. I had one, needed a second uniform. I spoke to one manager. They said, yeah, it's no problem, we'll get it sorted. Spoke to 2 more managers. Yeah, no problem, we'll get it sorted. Still no uniform. I had to speak to a 4th person to get this uniform sorted. And bear in mind, the uniform we had, we stock it in the gift shop, this shirt that I needed. So, yeah, it's just a lot of things, you know. I'd book off months in advance the appointments I had with my consultant. The rota would come round, and I was in. And I was told, well, we'll have to see if we can get someone to cover you or not. So, you know, it was a million and one things. And there was an event that happened that I don't want to go into because it still gets me emotional upset thinking about it and talking about it. There was this one event that happened in I think it was like middle of summer. It happened. And it hit. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I just went into a really big, deep, depressive episode. Thankfully, got amazing support of like my GP and things like that. They signed me off work for, I think it was a month I was off work for in total, which management was still like pressuring me, like, can you come back? Can you come back? Because they had they'd not rated in enough people and stuff like that. They'd made issues with the rota, so they were trying to pressure me to come back earlier. But yeah, it was during that time off where I'd hit the roadblock where I went, right, okay, I can't keep carrying on with this. I've dealt with a lot of mental health problems in my life. I've been under mental health services since I was 12 years old, and I'm always very open about that. And one of the things I have is recurrent depressive disorder. So, you know, I do get bouts of depression that are going to keep coming back for the rest of my life. And a lot of times there's no cause. There may be a cause sometimes, but a lot of time there's no cause. And I just knew that doing this job, it's just going to keep bringing me down, and I'm more likely to go into crisis. And I don't want to keep going back to that place where I was in a revolving door of depressive episodes and crises because of someone else's actions. And so, yeah, I was like, right, okay, I need to start putting in plans in place. So I started contacting local universities about what courses they did for law, you know, figure like when the courses start, because this was in July and there were some courses that were starting in September, and I was like, no, can't do that. I need to have a bit more time to prepare with things and stuff like that, be able to apply for student finance and all stuff like that. So yeah, contacted a few different universities, had a little look at the different types of courses they offered, and eventually I found a university that is local to me that offered a course that did allow for student financing, because some of them you had to fund yourself, some you can get student finance for. They've been absolutely great with the disability support that I've needed. They've gone above and beyond actually what I expected from them. I said, this is what I had when I did my bachelor's degree, you know, could you use help with that? They're like, yeah, we can do all that, but we're also going to do this and this and this because you think you could need that. And I was like, that's actually great ideas. I may need some of that. So yeah, so I did, found a course that is going to lead, so I'm going to be doing a Masters of Law, and I'll do part of training, part of the assessments to become a solicitor. Once I finish the course, I'll have to continue on with that training to become a registered solicitor and things like that. But this leads you on to the way. So yeah, that's what I was planning on doing, and I got that all set up, and things like that. And when I was doing it, I was very mindful of the fact that at that time I wasn't doing so great mentally, and I was really angry and upset by the way I was getting treated in work. And not just me, there was a lot of other colleagues who were getting treated just as badly, and that. So yeah, I was I was very mindful that I was in a negative headspace, so I came up with the agreement that I was going to keep working up until the end of November. That's when I was going to finish the job, because I did not want to be dealing with the stress and the chaos of this. In December, I wanted a bit of time, because I'll start my course in January, between me finishing work and starting, to be able to get into the nice, relaxed and motivated mindset, and just be able to take that breather in between. So I decided I was going to leave at the end of November, and I thought it gave me a lot of chance to sort of give me thinking and breathing space, because obviously I had until I handed my notice in to change my mind effectively and continue working there and stop doing the course. I knew that was highly unlikely, but I always like to live with the mindset of do not make a permanent decision on a temporary emotion. So that's why I wanted to be able to give myself that bit of space, just in case I did decide to change my mind. I didn't. Yeah, so the reason why I didn't want anyone in work knowing is because with our contracts, we only have a very small notice period that we have to give. And also, in the past, where some of the management have been very petty and basically spitting their dummy out the pram when someone leaves, even if it is because they've got a better opportunity, you know, and they've got an amazing new job, and, you know, you should be happy for them, you know, that they've got this great opportunity. There are some members of management who just basically saw it as a big betrayal, so they will try and get you out the job as early as possible. So that's why I didn't want anyone knowing until I was ready to hand in that notice. And thankfully I did manage to keep it quiet until I handed in my notice. They did get me out earlier than, so I handed my notice in, and because you know, it's the low season, I worked in the tourist industry, and it's winter, you know, we're not getting as many visitors, so we don't get as many shifts. I was only part-time. So yeah, I only had 3 shifts left, and 2 of them I got told, you know, don't come in for. So I felt really validated in I was right not to tell them earlier. But yeah, you know what, every shift I did from when I got accepted into the university to do this course, every shift I did, it just confirmed my belief more of I'm ready to do this. I'm excited for this new change, and I really am excited to be moving on into this change. And yeah, it's a great new opportunity, so I'm really looking forward to that in the new year. It's a fresh start, and yeah, I'm excited for it. But yeah, that's basically what was making me busy, was doing all the applications for it, doing the student finance ones, having to get apply for disabled student support and things like that, and disabled students allowance, having to provide all the evidence and everything. It was just, you know, there's a lot of phone calls and that involved. It's not been a stressful experience applying for this course. It's actually been all right. It's just, there's been a lot of work involved, but it'll be worth it. So yeah, that's what's been going on. I don't know whether you can hear it, but in my voice you may be able to notice I don't sound as normal. This is what's been happening over this recent break. So I didn't do any videos at the end of October because my nephew was born. He came into this world, was doing really great. He's a healthy little boy. He's absolutely beautiful. He's such a lovely little lad. I was there babysitting today. He lights up my life. He's just absolutely amazing. He's done so fabulous. There's not been one issue, not one complication, which we are so thankful for. And in my prayers every night, I just say how thankful I am that he's been so healthy, and that my sister has been so healthy. She's not had any complications, and this girl is super mum, right? My sister is phenomenal. I'm so proud of her. You know, she's took it as a duck to water, and she's absolutely amazing. And I'm just there. I'm sitting there watching her on the sidelines, and I'm like, I'm so proud of you. You are amazing. So yeah, I had that at the end of October that sort of kept things a bit busy. Then I caught a cold, which I know you're thinking, what's a cold done for a whole month? Well, with this cold, I went into I went into work, and I was a tour guide. I did 5 tours that day. It was quite a windy day, so I did have to speak a bit louder and extend my voice a bit more than what you normally have to. And basically I've knackered my larynx. So yeah, this is the aftermath of it in the beginning of November, me having no voice. Yeah, it's honestly, it's gone on for so long. I have had a doctor's appointment. They have swabbed me for infection. They've said I'm not infectious, I've got no infections there. Basically, yeah, it's just, I've had that infection. It's irritated the larynx, and it just takes a while to settle down. So yeah, it meant for like 3 weeks straight I couldn't talk properly. My partner said it was like a squeaky toy that had lost its squeak. My family have been absolutely over the moon because I have not been able to talk much. But yeah, I'm getting better, I'm getting there. And yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna rest it, get ready for Vlogmas, and here I am, and I'm back. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. So I'm gonna start tomorrow with the full Vlogmas like I normally do. Opening my advents. I've got 2 advents, working on an advent project each day, and then I've got 2 projects that I do want to finish by the end of the year. So if I get my advent project finished for the day, I'll then work on these 2 other projects. One is these socks. I've done 1 sock. I need to finish it. I need to do the second sock now. And then there's a mousse, which my sister asked me to make for my nephew. So of course I was like, yeah, I'll make a mousse. That boy gets anything he wants on me at the moment. Yeah, so yeah, that's where we're at. But I'll come back tomorrow, as I said, do a proper Vlogmas video. And yeah, tomorrow's just going to be a day of, we need to finish blitz cleaning the house because we do a really big deep clean before we put the decorations up. Been doing that yesterday, today, and we'll finish off tomorrow. And then hopefully on Monday put the decorations up. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know down in the description box, down in the comments if you're doing Vlogmas, because I would love to check it out. Also, let me know if you're working on any advent projects or what you're doing to get into the Christmas spirit, because I always love chatting with you all. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Take care, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Bye.